Hello, my very dear Virgos. This is your reading for the week of April 28th, or whenever you hear this and it resonates. Before I start, likes, shares, subscribes would be greatly appreciated if it's not an inconvenience to you, as it will help get the channel out to more people. That being said, what I would like first to say to you, Virgos, is this. When I started getting ready to do this reading, all of a sudden I wanted to start singing Virgo. And I saw literally an image of someone singing and all of these notes coming out of their mouth. And it feels to me as though there is something that needs to be communicated for the Virgos that I'm reading for. There is something that you would like to communicate that perhaps you're a little bit nervous about how you do it, or if you should do it. And what I'm getting with this is the whole way of the speaking, because it was coming out like a song or like notes that were fluid and flowing. And that was the image of them coming out as well as the tonal quality. It feels to me as though there is something that wants to be said, but it wants to be said with kindness. And that there's a certain gentleness and a certain sense of empathy that it feels as though now that you are feeling like you need to express to someone. And the reason I get that also is because right next to the kindness card, the card is saying today when you're tempted to tell somebody what's wrong with them, instead, tell them what it is you'd like more of without actually saying, I want more of this. Because that can be the same as saying basically they're wrong for not having done it. So it would be more like phrasing it something in the way of, geez, I really like it when you make that great pasta dish, or oh, I really love it when I come home to a clean house. It's so nice. Whatever, however you would phrase it, it's that sense of maybe not that exactly, but what it is really saying is be mindful of how you communicate what your desires are. And that if you center in your sense of kindness, then you're going to be a lot more inclined to be able to step forward into actually doing this, actually speaking. And then the next card that I get as clarification is the virtue card. And that is saying, okay, so just notice when you are judging somebody for being different than you, for having different values than you do. So in whatever the situation is, this might be a situation where it would be worthwhile to step back for a little bit and look at it and realize that maybe this isn't about somebody being wrong or needing to be different, but that you need to understand and come to terms with what the differences are, and is it something that you can manage comfortably for yourself. Now, this does not have to be specifically a romantic relationship. It can be a and I'm not getting specifically romantic in this. It can be any kind of relationship, friendship, parent-child, siblings, work, any of those, or romantic, but I'm not saying specifically romantic. And what I think is really also very positive in this, Virgo, is that coming right next to this, the trying versus doing, you get risk success. Take a chance that everything you're doing might just be the just exactly the right choice. Okay? That being said, it's with the understanding that, yes, trust that you have what you need to be able to say this. And if you anchor it in that sense of kindness and in that sense of also really appreciating the positives that the person or the situation has going for it, then I think you're going to find that you're going to actually have success in being able to handle and manage this situation in a way that, that is good for you. I want to bring this back to consciousness and awareness, and this is part of what raising our consciousness is all about, is learning how to communicate. And so much of communication, whatever we're doing, in some way is about creating boundaries for ourselves, because relationships are all about how we negotiate the back and forth of emotion and energy and activity. And within the kindness aspect, within the idea of risking success and going into that sense of not judging, but really being not judging in a negative sense. Remember that there is another part of you. So when I said in the beginning, step back and look at this, remember that you can look at this from the point of view as your higher conscious mind, your wise heart, which is where you're also going to be noticing kindness, generosity, understanding, compassion. Doesn't mean you're a pushover. It just means that when you make choices and statements from that energy rather than a fearful energy, you're going to be a lot more inclined to say it in a way that creates cooperation. Okay? If it's something that's really troubling you, lean into grace. Okay? Grace is trusting in the idea that grace is there for everybody. We just haven't opened to it. And that it's something that when we do open to it and we really lean into the idea of grace, it's with the idea that there is a benevolent guiding hand that is helping you. So when you stay in touch with that higher part of yourself and you lean into grace and you work with kindness, you will have what you need to be able to do this. Okay? Take care, my dear Virgos. Take care.